Hi friends, my name is Anya Chrysanthon and I am the host of the New Construction Marketing Podcast. And today I wanted to talk to you about the rest of 2018. Believe it or not, July marks half a year, and I hope you've had a great first half of the year so far, but we're going to talk about how you can really make sure you kill it in the next 6 months. So I've created a 6-step process to help you put together a killer marketing calendar. You can download a template to follow along by going to anyachrysanthon.com/calendar. Get your copy there and follow in the 6-step process. So here's the 6-step process. First thing you're going to do when you're creating your calendar is you're going to do some daydreaming. I really want you to take some time for this portion and make sure you're in an environment that inspires you, where you're feeling relaxed. So maybe go for a walk or listen to some music. So this portion is all about dreaming big. You want to daydream and imagine what would the rest of the year look like in order for you to say, this was an amazing year, I really killed it, I can't believe I achieved what I was able to achieve, and how would that affect your professional life as well as your personal life. So really write out those big goals that you have for yourself, and I recommend that you write the goals out on a piece of paper, handwriting goals, instead of actually typing them up. There's a big connection between your brain and handwriting something, so I think that's very powerful. So that's step 1 on the process. Your next thing is non-negotiable. So what you're going to do in step 2 is think about what you've done in the past that didn't make you feel really good. So it's the stuff that you're no longer willing to do, and write it out. So for example, maybe it's, for me, I'm no longer willing to stay up until 10 o'clock at night trying to convince a customer to purchase a house on the last day of the month, right? Usually that doesn't turn out so well anyway, and they usually end up canceling either way. So what are your non-negotiables? Maybe it's not willing to take a home site deposit and extend that deposit past the regular 3-day time frame or whatever that may be. So write it out. What are some of the things you're not willing to compromise on? It could be self-care, right? Maybe you want to make sure you're hitting the gym every single day of the week or 5 days a week. What are you not willing to compromise? What are you not willing to give up in order to achieve your dreams? Once you have that completed, your next step is going to be to take a look at the past 6 months to a year. If you have a year in a previous job history, that's great, that's the best. So what you want to look at is you want to try to identify some patterns and connections. So you want to look at how many sales did you have each month in the past year, and how many traffic units did you see during each single month in order for you to achieve those sales goals. So again, you just want to try to make some connections. Try to identify how many traffic you should be able to see in order to sell X amount of homes. Look at what promotions have worked in the past and maybe what didn't work so well, so that you know what you should and should not repeat. Once you have the patterns identified, next step is going to be brain dump. So when I say brain dump, it's going to be the most creative part of this process. I want you to grab a big piece of paper, or if you have a poster, or you can use sticky notes and a wall, whatever you feel like doing. Basically, in this step, you're going to write out every single crazy marketing idea that you can think of about marketing your community in the next 6 months, and you're going to write it out. I don't want you to use any kind of a filter here. You don't want to think, maybe that's not going to work, that's too crazy of an idea, or that's never been done before, I don't know about that. I just want you to write it down. So write down every single idea you can come up with, and really don't filter yourself. If it comes to your mind, go ahead and write it down. In this process, You may want to involve somebody who knows your community. So maybe it's your sales manager, your assistant, or somebody who works with you closely and can give you some additional inspiration and additional ideas for how you can market your community. So take some time, at least 30 minutes, to really write this down and get all of your ideas on a piece of paper. Before you jump to the next step, which would be organizing your ideas, you may want to take a step back and potentially sleep on it, so that when you come back and look at it with a fresh set of eyes. So in step 5, you're going to look at all the crazy ideas you wrote down, and you're going to organize it into sections, and you're going to actually start putting it together in a calendar. What I like to do is I like to use editable calendar. It's a monthly calendar that you can edit. So print those out and start off with using pencil so that you can move some things around and really take whatever you wrote down in that crazy brain dump and start organizing into each month and how you want to really create those events out of that brain dump. The key here is to put your number at the top of each month. So say my goal is to sell 5 houses in the month of July. I'm gonna put my number 5 at the top of the month, and then you're gonna refer back to step 3, where you identified patterns to see how many traffic units you need to actually see in order to convert 5 customers. So in this case, it may be 50 customers. So okay, so get 5 sales, I need to see 50 customers. I'm gonna put that on top of the page for the month of July, and then I'm going to figure out, okay, what type of events I need to hold, how many events do I need to have in order to drive that kind of a traffic. So, and then once you identify each event, you're gonna do kind of a reverse engineering. For each single event, you're gonna think back and say, okay, if the event's going to be on the 20th, what needs to happen in order for that event to be successful? And I really want you to go ahead and put that on the paper now and start planning for each single event. Now, in this section, you also want to remember your vacation time and leave some white space, because that's important to give yourself enough space so that you don't burn out, and also that you have the time to actually plan out those events successfully. Last step in this process is going to be step 6, and that's going to be to take a step back and look at the goals that you wrote out and to take a look at your calendar. How do you feel about it? Is it scary? It should be scary. If you looking at your calendar and you think, you know what, it's completely doable for me, I want you to go back and redo it. Your goals should definitely be scary, but at the same time, they should be achievable, right? So you want to make it challenging so that at the end of the 6-month period, you're going to look back and say, wow, I can't believe I was able to achieve this, and I feel so great now that I was able to achieve this goal. So definitely make it challenging. It should scare you a little bit, and if anything, I'm sure you're an overachiever. You probably need to reel it back, if not, go the other way. So, but at the end of step 6, you also want to ask yourself, who do I need to be in order to show up in this way every single day? Who is the person who is able to achieve and really work through this marketing calendar? So that's how you're going to show up every single day. So it's important to have some type of a morning routine to help you get going. One of the books that I always recommend is The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod. And recently I read a 5-Second Rule by Mel Robbins. That's also another great book that talks about morning routines and getting yourself on the right track so that you are showing up every single day ready to execute and ready to kill it. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and it was helpful. Again, you can download the 6-step guide to go along with this, and you can check it out by going to AnyaChrysanthemum.com/calendar. All right, that wraps it up. I hope you guys found value in this, and I will talk to you soon. All right, see you later. Bye.